funny story. I lied. So I thought I was done doing my part 2 WIP Parade, or WIP Parade part 2. And I started doing the editing and putting in the pictures. And when I went into my phone, I have this folder for all my stitching projects. I was like, wait, I don't think I've talked about that one. And so I started digging, looking at my other video, and realized I have a whole nother giant bin full of patterns to show you guys. So I didn't have just the small bin. I have this giant bin. Yeah. I guess that's what happens when you have like 90 patterns that you're working on. Anyway, so I will try and kind of get through this video as fast as I can. I got some heartburn starting, and anyway, so hopefully we can get through this. But yeah, we have a whole nother bin, and this is one of my biggest bins. So here we go. Hopefully, like I said, I can get through it kind of quickly. Okay, this is a terrible picture, but this is like one of my very first collabs. I call her Butterfly Girl. The printing of this pattern is just awful. But I did an unboxing with her, so if you wanted to see what the pattern actually looks like, you can look at my previous videos. And I don't think I've stitched on her since that stitch with me. So here's the whole thing. And I've only stitched like right here on her eye. So yeah, kind of fallen out of love with this one. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stack all these on my bed and then put them all back in the bin, because the bin is really full. So I think that'll be easiest. Okay, next up, there we go. See? All these patterns that I have, and everything keeps falling. I need like another table or something. So maybe I'll put stuff like that. Okay, next up we have my Christmas pattern. Pretty pattern. This is on 14 count. It's a stamped kit, and it's 14 count. And I didn't get started on it very far, actually. But I started doing the roof, basically, and the snow on the roof. And that's as far as I've gotten. But you know what? It's gonna be Christmas time soon, so I'll have to pull this one out. Yeah, and I'll probably say that for everything that I do, but you know, it's fine. No, don't fall. Okay. Everything's falling. I'm trying to sneak it all back into the bag. I still can't believe I skipped an entire large bin full of patterns. I was wondering why it felt so short. Oh well. That just means you guys get to hang out with me a little longer. Okay, that's fine. Next up is my Dragon Girl. I have it in this beautiful bag by Dawn Marie. There we go. I was like, what is her name? Anyway, but I'll put her name up here so you guys can, her YouTube channel name right here. But Dawn Marie made this bag for me. Super pretty, so I can kit it up. And of course, I haven't stitched on this since she gave me this bag. But there is the pattern. And let me grab project. And then of course, yeah, I just kind of, this is again one of the projects where I was like, I don't think this is working out. This is on 22 count, but you know what? It's fine. I'm looking at it and it looks fine. It's just because it's all black, and so you're gonna see the fabric coming through the stitches. That's just the way it goes. But anyway, here I am. And I was stitching this for the Fit to Stitch challenge. What was it? 2021 or something. But I kind of fell out of pattern with that. Just, yeah. Anyway, there's that one. Let's see. I don't know if I've put any stitches into this one, so. Nope, I haven't. This is a brand new one that I haven't even put any stitches into. Just put that right there. All right, this is a terrible pattern picture, but it is what it is. This is my Hobbit hole. This is the only night version of a Hobbit hole that I've seen. So I was super excited to get this one. But I had just recently got it before stopping stitching, so I didn't make it very far at all. So that's as far as I've gotten, and I'll have to show you the back, because I've only done like right there. So let me open it up so you can see the back, because stamped cross stitch is easier. So yeah, I haven't gotten very far at all, but I had just gotten this one. It's one of my newest collabs, and I just, yeah, haven't stitched on it enough yet. So there's that one. Okay, here is a custom kit of mine that I had created. It's a Harry Potter pattern, and it's I'd rather be at Hogwarts is what the lettering says. But it's a snow scene, and it is 14 count. I don't have a ton of stamped kits that are 14 count, but in order to get the detail that I wanted on this one, it needed to be 14. So again, not very far. Story of my life. But this is the whole thing. Ta-da! It's pretty long. It's a big pattern. It will be beautiful when it's done though. And I left off. Let's see if I can get this folded the other way. You guys can watch me struggle on screen here. Okay, so here's where I'm at right here. And I think I was gonna move from here down to the castle and kind of get a different like stitching perspective. But yeah, haven't stitched on this a ton. This is all I've gotten done. There's that one. I think for stamped kits, I do prefer 11 count over 14 count. But you know, you live and you learn. Okay, next up we have another Harry Potter pattern. And this was a custom as well. Goes my stag. I love this one. I have a fair bit of Harry Potter patterns. I'm a big Harry Potter fan. But again, haven't stitched too much of this one. Oh, excuse me. This one's on 11 count. And I think this one, the printing is a little bit light, so I haven't stitched a ton on it just because it's kind of hard to stitch. But I started stitching some of the castle and some of the background. And I kind of left off there. So these right here, these symbols right here mixed with the pink, and there's like a backslash, a plus, and like a cross or something, and they all kind of blend together. So it's really hard to see. It's hard to work on a lot. Oh, I have to sneeze. Okay, it went away. Anyway, so that's why I haven't worked on this one a ton. I do love this one, but yeah, it is a little hard to kind of get your eyes to focus. I have to use the actual printed pattern to try and help me stitch this one because it's just a little hard to follow, but I'm excited to work on this one. So this, I haven't started this kit. I had this custom made for my husband. It's a Lord of the Rings Wraith, the Dark Race. And he tried cross stitching and wasn't like a huge fan. So I want to get this started for him and make this for him, but I haven't started at all. Anyway, I got this for him to stitch, but let's see what things I've worked on. I haven't worked on that one. What is this? This is huge. Oh, this is our lion. Oh boy, this is one of the first stamped kits I got. And let me tell you, I didn't know what I was doing. Because this is a 60 by 80 pattern. It's huge. It is my lioness. And it's silk. So it's my very first silk project. It's huge. I don't even know. I'll try and show you what I've done here. So I stitched this corner, which is beautiful. I am loving it. Stitch is a whole new ball game, or silk is a whole new ball game though. You have to keep your tension pretty tight. Use a little bit of a longer needle if you can. Makes it a little easier. But I did some of this background right here, and then I skipped over to the lion because I've done right here, her ear, over here, the lioness, I guess. And then I did her eye right here. And I think I was just about to start filling in right here around the eye so I can see what that looks like. But let me show you the back so you can kind of see a little bit better what I've done. So here's that big stitch, and then here's the ear and then the eye. So I've just kind of worked my way down. I love this pattern, but it is silk. Silk is intimidating, a little bit harder to work on, so you have to be a little bit more careful. And it's huge, so it's a little hard to work on, but I do love my lioness. And sorry, really loud. So here in the States we have what's called the dollar store, or the $1.25 store now. And I found these giant Ziploc bags. I think these are like 5-gallon or 10-gallon bags. But for my really big stamped projects, I have them in these ginormous Ziploc bags, and they work great. So there's that. Okay, so this is my Lord of the Rings map. I don't have a picture of it printed, so I will insert a picture of it right here. I had gotten this for my husband, and again, it's 28 count, but it's one of the largest patterns that I have. I'm pretty sure it's like 950 stitches wide, by like 700 or so, tall, 950 wide. So this is 28 count though, and it's really hard for me to see. It's massive, but that's where I've gotten, and I have debated on starting this over, but the problem is it's such a big pattern that I just don't think I can get the fabric big enough unless I do like a custom order, and that's a little bit expensive. So I haven't been able to justify it yet, but I should just continue doing this and just suffer. You're gonna suffer, but you're gonna like it. But anyway, I'll show you how big this actually is. This is hand dyed by me, and so here is 1 arm's length, and so it's like 2 arms lengths wide, and again, this is 28 count, so it's massive. But yeah, so I've gotten there. Part of me has thought about trying to change the pattern to see if I can just leave the dyed fabric as the back of the map, and then just do all of the black and grays and maroons as like the all the different details on the map. So I've thought about that, but it's really hard to be able to change the pattern because the pattern is so big. I've tried to use pick to pat to do that, and I just haven't been able to get the detail that I wanted. So I've also tried, or thought about trying, to use Pattern Keeper, because I do have this in Pattern Keeper. And then just looking up those colors and ignoring all the other ones, and doing it that way. So I've thought about it. I'm still thinking about it, which is why this hasn't been worked on. But it's awesome. It's an awesome piece, and I would love to eventually hang it over my couch in the living room. My husband is a huge Lord of the Rings fan, so that would be cool. But one day. Make sure there's nothing else in here. Okay, yeah, switch to the other side of the bin now. I'm gonna turn this around. It's heavy, so, and I can't be lifting heavy things right now. So I'm sliding it gently. Okay, I have to pause. Hold on. Okay, so we're almost done. We're on the second half of the bin and it's not as full as the last one. So, continue. This is Stitch. I got this for my daughter. It's such a tiny picture, but it's down here. It's this cute little Stitch. See if I can get it to focus. And of course I can't. Let me see if I can find a bigger picture of it. I can't. I'll try and find a picture and post the picture of it right here. If there's no picture, I couldn't find it. But anyway, this is the whole pattern to give you an idea. It's like Stitch in like a pink background, staring at a butterfly on its nose. This is also 14 count. I love the printing on this pattern. It's very bright and vivid, and the fabric is very soft, especially for a 14 count. So, but for some reason I just haven't stitched on this very much. I should. I love this pattern, and my daughter really likes Stitch, but I think it's just a little harder to do being 14 count. Like I said, I do prefer 11 count stamped kits, but this is one of the very first stamped kits that I got, so I should just bite the bullet. A lot of these, if I just focused on one of them for a little bit, I'd get a ton of progress on them, but I just have so many that I want to stitch on all the time that it's hard to just pick one and focus on it because I love them all so much. Okay, this is another one that I had gotten for my daughter. I call this her owls. So there's that. Very beautiful. My whole family loves owls, and my daughter really liked this pattern. Move all the threads out of the way. So, I'm pretty sure this was a collab that I started on camera with you guys. I'd started here in the center owl, and then I switched over because I let my daughter pick like what owl I stitch on. But I'm almost done with this owl, and I started doing some of the background right here, so you can see like a little flower. Excuse me, a little flower in the owl. And I think this is the mermaid owl because she's got like a little mermaid like pattern on her belly. Strings everywhere. I know, sorry, but so this is what I've done. And again, I'm not a nice stitcher by any means. I have no rules. My rules change as I go. So there's that. I make up my own rules. I'm a rebel. Okay. Okay, next up is my sea goddess. Now, back in the day, this was one of my very first patterns also. I didn't like how this was stitching out. So I put it in a huge timeout. Excuse me. And I just recently kind of, when I did a WIP Parade last time, I pulled it out and it didn't look that bad. So for stamped kits, I've learned you have to hold them far away in order to be able to see the detail. So I just need to hold this far away, and it should be fine. But this is my sea goddess. Terrible picture, I know. If I can find a picture, then I'll post it right here. If I can't, then whatever. Some of these I've had for a long time, and I wasn't quite as organized with my patterns. I didn't have so many, so. But here she is. So I just did her face. That's my rule. I do the face. If it looks good, I continue. But I wasn't satisfied with the amount of detail in her face. And I think that's because, one, I was looking at it like this. And two, I haven't done any of the background color to make her face pop. So if you look at it like this, it looks significantly better. So, yeah. Sorry. Anyway, so yeah, I just need to continue working on it, bite the bullet, and I bet you it'll be beautiful. I just need to I had to learn that hard lesson as stamp kits. Okay. Next up, we have this fairy. Kind of a different style than I normally go for, but I thought it would be kind of cool. Haven't stitched very far on her. I think I did the stitch with me, and that was about it. So as far as I've gotten is a little bit of her eye and a little bit of her hair. That's all I've done. Not very much. It is a 40 by 50, so it's supposed to look like this. There's the finished piece. But yeah, I haven't done very much of her at all. Like so many of my other patterns, I have barely touched a lot of them, where they only have like a couple stitches each, like 100 or so. I haven't stitched that one yet. Okay, so this, I bought this for my birthday a really long time ago. This is my mermaid, my RTO mermaid. She's absolutely stunning. I absolutely love her. Problem is, as a new stitcher, and I am still a new stitcher, don't let anyone tell you otherwise. This is a paper chart with blended threads, half stitches, quarter stitches, full stitches, back stitching, all of the 9 yards, and I can't put it on Pattern Keeper, so it's extremely hard to stitch because of that. Why is it going on this? Where, oh. There we go. Okay, the needle minder was falling off, and yeah, the needle's falling too. Anyway, so I've been very intimidated by her. I started to pick her back up before I stopped stitching to see if I can kind of get myself in the mojo. But it is very hard. Again, I am a very new stitcher. I absolutely love Pattern Keeper. I can't get this pattern on Pattern Keeper. So yeah, I think she's probably still going to be sitting in the back burner, but I did get some more stitching done over here in her hair last time I worked on her. Yeah, absolutely stunning. I'm a little intimidated, and when I get intimidated, I don't feel inspired, so it kind of stinks, but I did recently pull her out before stopping. But not for very long, because again, it's a little much. Excuse me. What is this one? Have I started this one yet? I did. It looks like I did like Stitch With Me with this one. So this one is this pattern right here. I just did the Stitch With Me, I think, and that was it on this one. So I barely got started. So all I've done is like her little face, like right here. Her two little eyes on her cheek, and that was it. So, so sad. That's it right there. Just like those few little stitches. Yeah. Oh well, it is what it is, right? I still like the pattern. Too many things to work on. Not enough time to work on all of them. Okay, I think we might have the last one, maybe. Let's see. Nope, we're almost there. Not quite. Okay, next up we have the Snow Girl. One of my very first stamp kits also. And also haven't worked on her very much. I think it's because it's so big. It's such a big pattern. I was all about go big or go home for stamped kits when I first started them. Now, not so much. But this is I think this is a 50 by 70 also. So it's absolutely humongous. But I've done all this corner right here is completely done. Hard to see because the printing is so vivid. So I'll turn it around for you. So that's basically what I've done, is all this right here. Not very much. But I think I was a little disappointed that her face is just so large. I mean, I'm all the way like leaning back so you guys can see this one. I should have probably ordered this one in like a 30 by 40 and it would have been just fine, but I didn't, and that's what happens. You gotta learn. You live and you learn. So I haven't really stitched on it. And again, I think it's because it's so large. But I do love the pattern. She's super cute. Reminds me of me, like staring into the snow. But okay, let's see what else we got here. Okay, looks like this is the last one. So I call this one my camping pattern. I take this when I go camping for some reason. I don't know why. It's always what I do. But this is my chubby birds. And let me see if I can find the picture. I don't have a very large picture, so I'll go ahead. Let's see. Oh, yes I do. Yes I do. I just have to turn it over. So little chubby birds. As you can see, some of the like picture has run because this is my camping pattern, and yeah, it was raining one time and a little bit of the picture got a little wet, but the pattern didn't get wet. So when I first started this project, I started over here in the background. You can see some of the little cherry flowers. And then when I picked it up last, I switched over to do a chubby bird. And I'm so glad I did because I absolutely love the little chubby bird. He's adorable. And so I think this is the last thing I did. And this is the whole thing. Not a very big one. I actually absolutely love this size pattern. A lot better. A 30 by 40 is a lot better for me these days, just because I have so many patterns right now that it's easier for me to manage, or at least look at something smaller. It doesn't make my brain hurt quite as bad. But turn it around so you can see what I've done. I put the background over here and then the chubby bird over here. So I would love to hang this in my room when it's done. But I'm sure that's like many years down the road, like anything else that I have. And okay, this time I'm not lying. I believe that is all of my patterns. If I've missed any, then sorry, I'll just have to get them next time. But I'm pretty sure that's all of them. So thank you again, all of you, for hanging out with me the second time for my WIP number 2. My WIP Parade number 2. I really appreciate all of you, and sorry that I completely forgot about this entire giant bin, but it's the way it goes. I have a lot of patterns everywhere, stashed everywhere. But thank you all so much for hanging out with me, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.